Welcome to English Research. Get ready, everyone, because this story is about to take you on an unforgettable adventure. So buckle up, open your imagination, and let the journey begin. In 1976, in a small garage in Los Altos, California, two young, ambitious minds, Steve Jobs, a charismatic visionary, and Steve Wozniak, a brilliant engineer, along with Ronald Wayne, co-founded Apple Computer Incorporated. Their first product, the Apple I, was a simple computer circuit board sold to hobbyists. It had no keyboard, screen, or casing, but it was a glimpse of the future. Quote by Jobs, "We're here to put a dent in the universe." Wayne soon sold his shares for just $800, a decision that would become legendary for its irony, as Apple would become a trillion-dollar empire. Apple's big breakthrough came with the Apple II in 1977. With color graphics, a keyboard, and expandability, it became one of the first mass-market personal computers and helped launch the personal computing revolution. In 1980, Apple went public. Its IPO created instant millionaires, including employees and early investors. Then came the Macintosh in 1984. It was the first successful computer with a graphical user interface, GUI, and a mouse, a revolutionary idea inspired by Xerox PARC. The famous 1984 Super Bowl commercial directed by Ridley Scott positioned Apple as a rebel in a world of conformity, aka IBM. Despite the Macintosh's innovation, sales were modest. Tensions rose between Jobs and then CEO John Sculley, whom Jobs had recruited from Pepsi. In 1985, after a power struggle, Steve Jobs was forced out of Apple. Apple lost direction. A series of uninspiring products, including the Newton PDA, confused strategy, and rising competition from Microsoft Windows, left Apple struggling. By the mid-90s, Apple was on the brink of bankruptcy. In 1997, Apple made a surprising move. It bought Next, the software company Steve Jobs had founded after leaving Apple. This not only brought back jobs but also the foundation for macOS. Jobs became CEO again and immediately began simplifying the product line and cutting costs. His first major move? Launching the sleek, colorful iMac G3 in 1998, a hit that revitalized Apple's image. Then came iTunes and the iPod in 2001, a beautifully simple MP3 player that transformed how we listen to music. Apple was no longer just a computer company. In 2007, Jobs walked on stage and introduced a widescreen iPod with touch controls, a revolutionary mobile phone, and a breakthrough internet communicator. It was all one device, the iPhone. The iPhone changed everything. The smartphone market, the way we communicate, the way we live. It was followed by the App Store, turning Apple into a central platform of the mobile world. Apple also launched the iPad in 2010, creating the tablet market almost single-handedly. In 2011, Steve Jobs resigned due to declining health and passed away shortly after. Tim Cook took over as CEO, inheriting one of the most iconic brands on earth. Under Tim Cook, Apple became more than a product company. It became a services giant. Key milestones: Apple Watch, 2015, entered the wearable tech market. Apple Music, iCloud, and Apple TV Plus diversified the company. Apple became the first U.S. company to reach a $2 trillion market cap in 2020. Critics argued Cook lacked Jobs' visionary edge, but he brought unprecedented efficiency, supply chain mastery, and profitability. Apple remains at the top of the tech world. Highlights: Apple introduced its own silicon chips, the M1, M2, and now M3 chips, replacing Intel in Macs and delivering groundbreaking performance and battery life. It doubled down on privacy, positioning itself as the safe tech company in an age of surveillance. Apple expanded into healthcare, fitness, AR/VR with the Apple Vision Pro, and financial services like the Apple Card. In 2023, Apple became the most valuable company in the world, with a valuation over $3 trillion. Despite global economic shifts, lawsuits over App Store practices, and competition from China and AI-based startups, Apple has remained robust, innovative, and highly profitable. Apple is now setting its eyes on artificial intelligence, AI. Though behind in generative AI, Apple is working on deeply integrating AI into its operating systems, likely with the upcoming iOS 18 and macOS 15. Augmented reality, AR. The Apple Vision Pro is just the beginning. Apple plans to lead the next computing platform shift, from phones to spatial computing. Health and wellness. Apple wants your Apple Watch to detect diseases, monitor your heart, and become a true health partner. Electric/autonomous vehicles? Rumors about an Apple car, Project Titan, persist. Though the project has been scaled back, Apple may still have plans for mobility tech or in-car software. Sustainability. Apple has committed to becoming carbon neutral across its entire supply chain by 2030. Apple's future is being shaped by four intersecting pillars: AI integration, spatial computing, health technology, and ecosystem expansion. With its brand power, user base, and massive cash reserves, Apple is strategically positioning itself to own the next decade of computing and lifestyle tech. For years, Apple was quiet on AI while companies like OpenAI, Google, and Microsoft dominated headlines. But behind the scenes, Apple has been working on on-device AI, not flashy, but deeply embedded into the Apple ecosystem. What to expect? iOS 18, 2025. Is rumored to bring major AI upgrades: smarter Siri, AI-based photo editing, real-time voice translation, email summarization, and predictive text tools. Unlike cloud-based models, Apple will focus on privacy-first AI, running machine learning on-device, thanks to its M-series chips. Apple has been acquiring AI startups silently, including Xnor.ai and Voices, laying the foundation for an Apple AI ecosystem that blends seamlessly with everyday use. Apple's goal isn't to build a chatbot, it's to make your device feel like it truly understands you. With the Apple Vision Pro, Apple introduced what it calls spatial computing, a new way to interact with digital content in the physical world. Vision Pro is just the start. Current model is expensive, $3,500, but cheaper models are expected by 2026. Apple is betting that spatial computing will replace smartphones in the next decade. Future AR glasses, possibly called Apple Vision Lite, will be lighter, more affordable, and built for all-day use. The long-term vision includes office work, media consumption, fitness, and education in AR/VR environments. Imagine replacing your laptop with floating screens in front of your eyes. That's Apple's long-term play. Apple isn't just building devices, it's building a digital health guardian. Where it's heading? Future Apple Watches may monitor blood pressure, glucose levels, and even mental health indicators like stress or depression. With partnerships in healthcare, Apple envisions the watch as a medical-grade device, possibly FDA approved. The health app will become a personal health hub, tracking sleep, nutrition, medications, workouts, fertility, and even diagnostics. Apple's ambition is to prevent illness before it begins, turning your wrist into a life-saving tool. Apple's strategy is to own the experience, from hardware to software to services. What's next in the ecosystem? Apple Home, smart home devices like HomePods, smart displays, and integrations with Matter, the new smart home standard. Apple Finance, Apple Pay, Apple Card, and now Apple Savings, turning your iPhone into your wallet and bank. Apple TV Plus continues to grow as a content platform. More original films, sports deals, like Analysts, and live entertainment are coming. Mac dominance. The M3 and upcoming M4 chips continue to redefine PC performance, attracting creative professionals and developers. Apple's world is one where every device you own talks to each other, and every service runs through Apple. Apple's long-rumored Project Titan, its attempt at building an electric self-driving car, was officially scaled down in 2024. Where things stand now, Apple has abandoned making a full car, but the company is still investing in in-car infotainment systems, CarPlay expansion, autonomous software tools. It's possible Apple will license software or create a car operating system, much like Android Auto or Google's car software stack. With iPhone saturation in North America and Europe, Apple is looking to emerging markets for growth. India, now a major hub for iPhone production and sales. Apple opened flagship stores in Mumbai and Delhi. Southeast Asia, Africa, and Latin America are next. Apple is building localized versions of services, offering cheaper models like iPhone SE, and expanding digital payments. Expect Apple to push education programs, coding academies, like Apple's Developer Academies, and iCloud services globally. While Apple is poised for growth, it faces real challenges. Regulatory scrutiny in the US and EU. Apple is facing antitrust pressure over the App Store's control and fees. Competition in AI and hardware. Companies like Samsung, Google, Microsoft, Huawei, and even startups are quickly innovating. Innovation pressure. With jobs gone, Apple needs to prove it can still lead revolutions, not just iterations. By 2030, Apple aims to be carbon neutral across all products and supply chains. Build a fully integrated digital lifestyle, where your home, health, finances, communication, entertainment, and work are all managed by Apple products. Push into spatial computing, AI companions, wearables beyond the wrist, and maybe even brain-computer interfaces. R&D is already underway. Lead the industry not just in profit, but in ethics, privacy, and long-term sustainability. Apple's next chapter isn't about gadgets, it's about you, your health, your space, your intelligence, your time, your privacy. Apple wants to redefine the relationship between humans and technology, making it more intimate, more helpful, and more seamlessly integrated into your life. The company that once put 1,000 songs in your pocket now wants to put an entire world at your fingertips. Technology alone is not enough. It's technology married with liberal arts, married with the humanities, that yields us the results that make our hearts sing. Steve Jobs. Apple isn't just planning for its next product, it's planning for a future world. As we look past 2030 into the 2040s, Apple's role in the world may transcend devices and software and reach into how we live, learn, work, heal, and connect. This chapter explores Apple's long-range ambitions and speculative, yet grounded, possibilities based on its history, values, and strategic moves. Apple is not only a tech company, it's also becoming a leader in environmental ethics. Key plans. By 2030, Apple aims to make every product carbon neutral, including materials, manufacturing, shipping, and usage. Using recycled materials, rare earth elements in iPhones and aluminum in MacBooks are increasingly sourced from recycled content. Daisy, Apple's iPhone recycling robot, represents a future where devices are born from old devices, creating a circular economy. Apple is investing in clean energy, including solar farms and carbon removal projects globally. Future impact. Apple could become a global blueprint for green manufacturing, influencing others to adopt sustainable industrial models. Apple's long-term health ambitions may redefine the relationship between humans and machines. Where it's headed, Apple Watch could evolve into a true health guardian, not just monitoring but predicting diseases. Bloodless glucose monitoring, hydration sensing, core body temperature regulation, and neural stress mapping are in R&D. Apple may collaborate with pharma and biotech companies to deliver health interventions, not just data. Future devices may be able to detect early signs of Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, or cancer through behavior and movement patterns. Long-term possibility. Apple may enter the realm of bio-integrated tech, with devices that work with your biology, perhaps wearables that enhance cognition, regulate mood, or extend lifespan. Imagine your Apple Watch one day saving your life before you even know you're in danger. While rivals build flashy AI models, Apple is likely to develop calm, ambient intelligence that integrates into your life without stealing your attention. Apple's likely AI evolution. Siri GPT? A conversational assistant deeply integrated with your memories, preferences, devices, and environment, but still respecting your privacy. Real-time emotional intelligence, AI that can detect your mood and adjust interactions accordingly, e.g., soft music when you're stressed. On-device AI tutors for children, personalized fitness coaches, even mental health companions. Apple's edge. While others chase general AI, Apple will focus on human-centered AI, assistants, not replacements. Apple's AI won't just answer questions, it will understand you. Though never announced, Apple's hardware-software integration hints at ambitions far beyond individual devices. Smart environments. Apple may enter the smart home market at scale, building entire systems for lighting, climate, security, and ambient control. Next, smart cities. Apple could partner with governments to create urban spaces infused with Apple tech, focusing on clean energy, low emissions, digital citizenship, and health infrastructure. Urban hubs powered by Apple AI, Apple Health, Apple Pay, and Apple Cloud, tightly integrated, private, and seamless. Could Apple design neighborhoods? Maybe. As Tesla builds gigafactories and Meta builds virtual cities, Apple could quietly create the world's first human-first, tech-enhanced communities. Apple is notoriously secretive, but here are some possibilities being explored by insiders and analysts for 2035 to 2050. Apple Neural Interface (BCI), a brain-computer interface that could allow users to control devices with thought, possibly for accessibility or performance. Non-invasive neural headbands or wearable glasses that read microexpressions and brainwaves. B. Apple Sense, a rumored internal project to develop multisensory computing, machines that perceive not only sight and sound, but smell, taste, and emotion. Could be part of the next generation of spatial computing. C. Apple Edu, a global education initiative that offers free or affordable digital learning, AI tutors, and immersive classrooms through AR, especially for underprivileged regions. D. Apple ID 2.0, a unified global identity system linked to health, finance, education, and travel, backed by Apple's encryption, not governments. Think passport, wallet, and ID in one, controlled by the user. As Apple grows, it may become more than a business. It may act as a diplomatic force. Apple's supply chain spans 40-plus countries. It must navigate geopolitics carefully, e.g., US-China tensions, India rising. With user bases in over 180 countries, Apple may advocate for digital rights, data privacy laws, AI ethics, and even democracy online. Apple might one day help shape international standards for sustainability, digital education, and ethical AI. Perhaps the boldest idea. Apple is planning for a world beyond the iPhone. As spatial computing matures, smart glasses, haptic rings, neural interfaces, and voice-based devices may replace the smartphone. The iPhone may become a background device, much like desktops became after the mobile boom. Apple's future devices may be invisible, worn, embedded, or even sensed through your environment. Apple has always combined technology with human emotion, not just building machines, but stories, experiences, and tools for self-expression. As we move deeper into the 21st century, Apple could become healer through health tech, guide through AI, guardian through privacy and sustainability, architect of new societies and digital environments, companion in every aspect of human life. The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Apple, 1997. And Apple is still thinking crazy. In the future, the most powerful technology will be the one you don't see, only feel. Anonymous Apple Insider. In this final chapter, we take a visionary leap. Not a dry analysis, but a fictional yet plausible journey into a day in the life of a person in the year 2050, where Apple's influence has matured into an ambient, nearly invisible force shaping daily life, not through control, but through design, trust, and experience. Mina, a 34-year-old environmental scientist, wakes to gentle ambient light adjusting to her circadian rhythm. There is no alarm clock. Her Apple circadian AI knows when her REM cycle ends. The walls of her bedroom are smart glass, controlled by her Apple HomePod Orb, a spherical ambient assistant embedded in her nightstand. Her Apple Band, a slim wrist sensor, softly pulses as it sends a morning wellness report, oxygen levels normal, cortisol elevated, hydration slightly low. A recommended yoga flow appears on her AR glasses, projected into the air beside her bed. It's designed just for her, based on sleep depth, muscle fatigue, and emotional state. "Good morning, Mina," a voice says gently in Japanese. "You've got this." There is no phone in sight. Mina wears Apple Lens, ultralight AR contact lenses, connected to Apple Neural Band, a non-invasive brain-computer interface. She doesn't check emails. She thinks about what's important, and AI filters her notifications. Work documents float in midair, alongside her project dashboards, health vitals, and her toddler's digital drawing from Apple Edu Home Class. Information now responds to intention, not action. Payments happen via iBlink confirmation. Public transport responds to her location automatically. Her smart e-bike adjusts speed and music rhythm in sync with her energy levels. All powered by Apple Cloud Mesh, a decentralized, encrypted cloud system where she owns her data. While working, her Apple Bio Core system, a combination of biosensors in her bloodstream and AI predictive models, detects something unusual, slight irregularity in mitochondrial activity. Within moments, a secure connection links her to an Apple medical center. A nanoliter blood sample is drawn through her skin via painless microcurrent. Results show a mitochondrial fatigue syndrome onset, early stage. Apple Care Health creates a personal intervention protocol, including nutrition guidance, rest schedules, and neurofeedback sessions. She never felt a symptom, but Apple caught the problem 4 years earlier than traditional medicine would have. In this world, Apple is no longer just a company. It is a neutral infrastructure layer, like electricity or air travel once were. Digital IDs are based on Apple's decentralized ledger, used globally for voting, travel, healthcare, and education. Children's AI tutors from Apple Edu are universal across all UN-recognized countries. Apple Pay is now a global currency bridge, regulated by the World Monetary Trust. The Apple Standard governs ethical AI and data protection, adopted by 85+ nations after the Tech Ethics Treaty of 2041. Governments license Apple's privacy engine to ensure citizen data is unmonetizable by third parties. In 2050, Apple products don't dominate your attention. They disappear until you need them. There are no constant pings or intrusive ads. Attention is treated as sacred, protected by Apple's TimeWell framework, designed to maximize presence and minimize disruption. Your Apple AI isn't a talking assistant. It's an invisible, evolving companion designed to align with your values and needs. It's like a silent butler, a guardian angel, and a creative partner in one. As the stars rise over the digital gardens of her smart neighborhood, Mina sits with her child, watching a custom story generated by Apple's Story Cloud, a bedtime tale about courage, love, and space whales, composed in real time based on the child's emotions that day. Before bed, her neural band gently guides her brain waves into deep rest, correcting cognitive fatigue. Her Apple Dreamscape projects calming visuals and music aligned with her emotional state. Mina hasn't touched a physical screen in years, and yet she's never been more connected, more empowered, more in control. In this fictional future, Apple becomes something greater than a trillion-dollar company. It becomes a framework for humane technology, guiding humanity toward a calmer, smarter, and healthier way of living. It never asks for your attention. It never sells your data. It only asks one thing: how can I serve you better without getting in your way? That's the Appleverse, not a world built by machines, but a world where machines serve your humanity. And it all started in a small garage in Cupertino. Apple isn't just a technology company, it's a cultural force, a symbol of design, innovation, and simplicity. From a garage to global dominance, it has redefined how humans interact with technology. Yet challenges remain: rising geopolitical tensions, regulatory scrutiny, ethical concerns in AI, and questions about innovation post-jobs. But if history teaches us anything, it's this: Apple has always been a company of comebacks, bold bets, and revolutionary products. From think different to what's next, Apple's journey is far from over. If you enjoy the video, please like, subscribe, and share.